Ladies and gentlemen, detach your peace from their behavior. There will come a time when you'll realize, maybe after being wounded, misunderstood, or betrayed, that peace must no longer be something you borrow from people's approval. That your peace cannot depend on how someone treats you, what they say, how they react, or what they think. If you're calm, your mood, your emotional stability is at the mercy of someone else's behavior. You are not living, you're just reacting. And reaction is not power. Power lives in response. Power lives in restraint. When someone disrespects you, insults you, mocks you, or ignores you, they are revealing who they are, not who you are. And it is your choice whether to pick up that energy, carry it, and turn it into fuel, or let it fall. Most people are walking around carrying other people's emotional garbage. Someone dumps insecurity on you, and now you wear it like your own. Someone projects their pain onto you. Now focus ITIKE, your S, your TRUTSOL. Because it F** seeking does. Not everything thrown at you belongs to you. Peace means letting it drop. Let them speak, let them act, let them project, but you don't have to absorb. You don't have to internalize. The person who provokes you, they win when you react. They gain control of your energy. They shift your mood. You end up fighting a battle that was never meant for you. And while you're caught in that emotional tug-of-war, your purpose is delayed. Your focus is blurred. Your identity becomes reactionary. You let them define the temperature of your soul. And for what? You must learn the ancient art of not responding, not because you're weak, but because you are finally wise. It takes strength to walk away. It takes maturity to say, "This is not mine to carry." It takes discipline to let someone be wrong about you and not feel the need to correct them. You know your truth, that is enough. If they need to misunderstand you to protect their ego, let them. If they need to create drama to feel significant, let them, but protect your energy like sacred territory. Some people are sent into your life not to stay, but to teach, and some are not teaching you how to love. They're teaching you how not to lose your peace. Every insult, every snide remark, every cold shoulder, it's not about you. It's about something broken in them, and it's not your job to fix it. Stop trying to be the emotional repairman for broken people who don't even know they're cracked. You can show compassion without compromising your calm. You can care without carrying. When your peace becomes non-negotiable, everything changes. You don't chase closure because silence becomes your closure. You don't argue to be understood because you've outgrown the need to prove yourself. You don't retaliate because revenge is noisy, but healing is quiet. You learn to walk away, not to prove you're better, but because you finally understand your worth. Your peace is too expensive to trade for petty battles. People will do what they do. They will misunderstand you, underestimate you, even mock you. But you're not here to dance to their chaos. You are not here to match their dysfunction. You're here to master your spirit. When you rise above the need to control what others say or do, you enter into a higher frequency, a level where peace isn't something you find, it's something you are. They yell and you stay quiet. They provoke and you stay poised. They lie and you live truthfully. That's power, that's control, that's freedom. The kind of freedom that cannot be taken away because it wasn't given by them in the first place. The truth is, most people are fighting battles you cannot see. Their behavior is not about you, it's a reflection of their own inner chaos. So when they lash out, when they project, when they twist stories, don't absorb, observe. Don't engage, elevate. Don't stoop, stand still. That stillness is your statement. That silence is your sword and your peace. That's your reward. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to explain yourself every time someone throws a stone. Let them throw it. It will miss, because your peace is protected, not by walls, not by words, but by wisdom. Detach your peace from their behavior, because when your peace no longer depends on anyone's approval, apology, or applause, you have already won. Stillness is a weapon, not weakness. In a world addicted to noise, silence becomes rebellious. In a society that equates movement with progress and loudness with power, stillness is misunderstood. But stillness is not the absence of power, it is its highest form. The warrior who can stay still when provoked is not lacking force, he is storing it. He is aware of where it should be spent. He is unmoved, not because he is frozen, but because he is focused. Stillness is the mark of someone who is no longer triggered by the external. It is the posture of mastery. When storms come and others panic, the one who stands still is not naive. He is rooted. He knows that action without alignment is chaos. He understands that not every war is worth entering, not every invitation to battle is worth accepting. Sometimes, the strongest move is no move at all. When you are still, you listen deeper. You hear the unspoken. You discern the unseen. While others chase validation and react to every emotion, stillness keeps you centered. It allows you to pause, assess, and preserve energy, because real strength is not proven through overreaction, it is shown through restraint. The one who yells first often loses their grip first. The one who reacts fast often burns out fast. But the one who remains still in the fire learns to endure, learns to see clearly through the smoke. Stillness isn't doing nothing, it's doing something powerful that no one sees. It's how you realign with your purpose. It's how you let the emotions settle so wisdom can speak. People will test you. They will try to provoke you. They will try to make you prove something. But when you are still, you are no longer a puppet pulled by the strings of their chaos. You are a mountain, unshaken, not because the wind stopped blowing, but because your roots grew deeper. Most people confuse stillness with silence, and silence with surrender, but stillness isn't giving up. It's refusing to give in. It is saying, I will not be moved by your noise. It is choosing your battles. It is walking away when staying would cost you your peace. It is remaining calm while others scream, not because you are powerless, but because your energy is too valuable to be wasted. When you're still, your enemy doesn't know what you're thinking. When you're still, your steps become unpredictable. When you're still, your mind remains clear while theirs is clouded with emotion. The one who stays still can see 10 moves ahead, while the one who reacts quickly sees only one, the next. Stillness expands your field of vision. It reveals options you can't see when you're rushing. In arguments, stillness is power. In grief, stillness is healing. In pressure, stillness is clarity. Sometimes, the best way to fight back is to not fight at all. Not because you're afraid, but because you're focused. You understand that time will reveal what emotion wants to distort. That truth, when given time and space, always rises to the surface. Stillness trains you to be untouchable. Not because people stop coming against you, but because their attacks no longer reach your core. You become a fortress. Words bounce off, provocations fade, chaos surrounds you, but it cannot penetrate. That's the power of stillness. It builds an invisible shield, a barrier between your inner world and the outer war. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. You don't have to move to prove you're going somewhere. Some of the most powerful moments in your life will happen in complete stillness. When you decide not to clap back, when you choose not to retaliate, when you decide to wait instead of rush. In those moments, you are not losing, you are winning differently. There's a quiet power in someone who doesn't respond the way you expect. It shakes people, it makes them uncomfortable. They push and you don't push back. They insult and you don't flinch. That's not weakness, it's wisdom. You've learned that peace is more valuable than pride, that not everything needs your reaction, that your silence can speak louder than your words ever could. Stillness is not escape, it's strategy. It's how the wise prepare, it's how the calm endure, it's how the chosen separate themselves from the common. In stillness, you become untouchable not because the world stops throwing punches, but because you've learned how to let them pass through without letting them hit your soul. So, the next time you're tempted to respond, to defend, to retaliate, pause. Stay still. Let the storm pass. Let the noise fade. Let your silence do what shouting never could, because stillness is a weapon, not weakness. People can only pull what you let hang loose. Think of your emotions, your triggers, your insecurities like cords hanging from your soul. The more you leave exposed, the more others can tug, not because they are strong, but because you gave them access. The ones who provoke you, control you, belittle you, they don't possess some deep power. They're just pulling what you left loose. They're using what you refuse to master. If you get angry every time someone talks down to you, then pride is hanging loose. If your mood changes every time someone ignores you, then validation is hanging loose. If you react when someone challenges your worth, then insecurity is hanging loose. It's not them, it's what's still dangling from within you. Until you tie it up, tuck it in, and secure it, they will keep finding ways to yank your peace away. People study you, even if you don't realize it. They watch where you flinch, where you react, where you get offended. They learn what gets under your skin. And the moment you expose what bothers you, it becomes leverage. Sometimes they use it unintentionally. Other times they use it intentionally because a triggered person is easy to control. The loudest one in the room is rarely the strongest. They are usually the most exposed. Everyone can see their strings, and everyone knows how to pull them. When someone insults you and you lash out, they own you. When someone gossips about you and it consumes your peace, they own you. When someone lies on your name and you feel the need to explain yourself to the world, they own you. Not because they're greater, but because you left emotional access points unguarded. You must learn to tie your inner cords tight. Tighten up your pride. Tighten up your need for approval. Tighten up your need to be liked, because the people who are the hardest to provoke aren't empty. They are disciplined. They don't just suppress feelings, they've outgrown the need to prove anything. Their worth isn't hanging out in public waiting for someone to validate it. It's secure, and when worth is secure, the world can talk, mock, ignore, and nothing shifts inside. You don't get to control who throws the stone, but you do control what it hits. If your ego is still exposed, it'll break something. If your identity is still fragile, it'll shatter you. But if you've done the inner work, if you've tightened up every area that used to bleed at a word, the stone will bounce off. Not because the stone changed, but because you did. Some of us are walking around with emotional wires dragging behind us, wondering why we keep getting shocked, why we keep getting hurt, why we keep feeling out of control. It's because we're emotionally unzipped, loose, open to everything, exposed to anything. Anyone with a sharp tongue can pull us into a fight. Anyone with a grudge can twist our peace. Anyone with an opinion can shift our whole day. You've got to close the doors that keep letting pain in. People are not the problem. What's hanging loose inside you is. You've got to do a deep inventory. Ask yourself, what bothers me? Why does it bother me? Who do I give emotional control to? And for what reason? And then go to work. Start tying up the places where you've been bleeding. Start securing the areas where you've been open to unnecessary pain. Because the one who masters what's inside cannot be mastered by what's outside. The one who learns to secure their soul can walk into a room full of critics and not flinch. They can hear gossip and stay focused. They can be disrespected and still remain dignified. That's not weakness. That's power under control. That's what maturity looks like. That's what spiritual and emotional authority feels like. You've got to understand that your triggers are telling on you. Every time you explode, every time you snap, every time you spiral, it's your soul crying out for attention. It's your soul telling you something in here is still loose. And instead of blaming them, you need to heal that. No one can pull what's not hanging loose. No one can shake what's rooted. No one can manipulate what's mastered. So become unshakable. not by changing the world, but by securing yourself. Become unmovable, not by silencing people, but by silencing your own ego. Because once everything within you is tight, disciplined, resolved, and rooted, they can throw, they can pull, they can provoke. But nothing moves. And that's when you know you've grown, not when you avoid battles, but when battles can no longer move you. Not when people stop talking, but when their words no longer cut. Not when life gets easier, but when your spirit gets stronger. Tie it up, close the gaps. Don't let anything hang loose that could be used against your peace. Turn every offense into a test, not a threat. Life will not ask your permission before it wounds you. People will say things you don't deserve. They'll question your value, challenge your identity, and attack your dignity. But the offense is never the final word. It's only the opening scene. What comes next? Your reaction, your mindset, your posture. That's the real test. That's where you win or lose. You were never promised a life free from offense, but you were given the power to decide what to do with it. You can take it as a threat, something to fear, something that must be avenged, or you can recognize it for what it really is, a test of character, a test of self-control, a test of whether you've truly healed or if you're still bleeding beneath the surface. Offense is not about them, it's about you. It reveals what's still raw, what's still insecure, what's still unresolved. Every offense is an opportunity to grow. Every insult is a mirror showing you what you still react to. The people who are hardest to love, the ones who hurt you the most. They are not always enemies. Sometimes they are divine instruments, sharpening your spirit, teaching you endurance, exposing your weak spots so you can finally fortify them. The moment you stop taking everything personally, you step into power. Because now you understand it's not about you, it's about what's in you. If someone disrespects you, it's not your job to get even. It's your job to rise. If someone lies on your name, it's not your duty to argue. It's your chance to stand in quiet integrity. If someone mocks your journey, you don't have to explain. Let your results speak. Let your silence teach. Every offense is a question. Are you who you say you are? Are you as healed as you pretend to be? Are you strong enough to walk away when your pride wants to stand up and fight? This is the battlefield that matters, not the one on the outside, but the one in your soul. The fight is not to change them, it's to master yourself. And if you fail that test, they win not because they're better, but because they got you to become something you're not. You don't have to swing at every insult. You don't have to clap back at every shade. Some battles are disguised invitations to lose your peace. And every time you accept that invitation, you trade your power for the illusion of control. You trade long-term peace for short-term satisfaction. But peace isn't loud. Peace doesn't yell. Peace doesn't argue to be understood. Peace endures. Treat offense like fire. It can burn you or refine you. It can consume you or purify you. What determines the outcome isn't the fire. It's what you're made of. If you're fragile, it breaks you. If you're built, it shapes you. So let the fire test you. Let the offense come. Let the words fly. Let the critics speak, but don't bow to it. Don't let it pull you down to a level you've already outgrown. Some people want to see you crack. They poke, they provoke, they pressure. Not because they're strong, but because they're broken. And broken people often try to break others to feel powerful, but you don't have to be broken with them. You can be whole, you can be still, you can look them in the eyes not with rage but with wisdom, because you understand they are not a threat. They are a test you are ready for. What if you saw every offense as training? What if the person who gossiped about you was actually sent to strengthen your ability to stay focused under pressure? What if the one who betrayed you was placed there so you could learn to forgive without an apology? What if the enemy wasn't blocking your path but building your resilience? It changes everything. Now you don't have to collapse when life gets hard. You don't have to fold when people cross the line. You don't have to retreat when your pride is challenged. Because you know you are being refined, you are being tested, not tormented. You are being strengthened, not shattered. And every test you pass makes you more unshakable, more disciplined, more dangerous not to people, but to the limitations that once ruled you. So let them talk, let them underestimate, let them mock, let the offense come, but don't react. Respond with purpose. Respond with maturity. Respond with silence when silence says more. Turn every offense into a test, and you will pass every threat with peace.